Hello students, in this video we will be solving the icebreakers and brainstorming section of lesson 1.2 on saying please. I hope you have already solved these two sections in your textbook or in a rough book. However, this video will help you to check your answers if they are written correctly. So let us start with the first question. List the words of courtesy that we use in our daily life. We definitely make use of many words like this in our day-to-day life, dear children. But here we have listed some of the words of courtesy. So they are thank you, sorry, please, excuse me, may I, pardon me, you are welcome, yes sir, yes ma'am. Okay, so these words we make use of in our day-to-day life in order to show courtesy, in order to be kind, gentle, humble towards each other around us. Now the next question is listed below are a few character traits. What are character traits? The qualities that people possess, the qualities that make a person. Okay, so either a person is very humble, a person is very kind, so these are his qualities that he possesses. He is made of those qualities. So here they have given us some positive qualities, some are not very positive. So take the ones you feel are desirable. Desirable as in you would like to have it if you don't have it. So the first one is conniving. Conniving is, it is like a person who is involved in conspiring to do something wrong, illegal or harmful. So yes, it is a negative trait, so we do not want to have it. Second one is insensitive. We don't want to be insensitive. Insensitive means a person who does not feel the pain or the suffering of someone. So that person is insensitive. So definitely again, we don't want to have that kind of a trait. Third, sly. Sly means a person who shows a cunning nature. So again, it is not a desirable trait. The fourth one, humorous. Yes, we would like to be humorous so that we spread the laughter and joy to the people around us. Then naive. Naive is again a trait wherein a person is very innocent. Okay, so you can be naive and it is a positive trait, so you can feel to have it. Then benevolent. Benevolent as in it is like you are very kind, you are very charitable, so that kind of a nature again is desirable. Then the next one is aggressive. Definitely we do not want to be aggressive. The next one is scheming. Scheming means uh, involved in making secrets and underhand plans. So you don't want to be a person who is making secrets and plans, some maybe to harm someone. So don't want to have that. The next is wise. Yes, we all desire to be wise. Then egoistic, a person who possesses a lot of ego, who does not talk to many people, who is like boastful about himself. So we don't want that kind of a trait. Then manipulative, we don't want to manipulate, we don't want to create situations where we put someone in trouble, or control or influence a person in a negative manner. So you don't want to do that. Then rude, of course we do not want to be rude towards others. Boastful, okay, you only keep talking about your greatness and you see others low to yourself, so that is boastful, again that we do not want. Then humble, yes, of course we all want to be humble, or we all should be humble, so that we kind of respect everybody, either it is elder or younger member, we respect everyone, so that is humble. So yes, we definitely want that. Then servile. Servile is having a show or showing an excessive willingness to serve or please others. So you have people who are always wanting to please everyone around them. So you again, that is another trait which is not very desirable. Then territorial. Territorial as in you kind of have ownership of an area, or maybe a person. So any relationship that you're sharing, so you want to have uh, a very strong hand in it, or you want to show ownership, your ownership towards that person, so again that is not desirable. Then patronizing, yes, we would want to be patronizing towards others, that is treat in a way that is apparently kind or helpful. So we want to have that trait. And the last one, generous. As we all know, generous means a person who is ever giving out of the plentiful that he has. So yes, we should be having that trait. And the next question, etiquette and manners are very important for a person to live in the society. Yes, my dear students, we live in a society, we live with people around us, so we cannot always do things the way we want to do it if it is harming someone else. So those are the ways in which we survive, where we kind of, compromise certain things, or we make adjustments according to the needs of our people around us. Okay, so that is the way a person should behave in when he is living in society, when he is living with people. Okay, so here there are some etiquettes which they have given. Now out of this we have to identify which behavior, which kind of manners are appropriate, or which kind of behavior is appropriate and which kind of behavior is not appropriate or inappropriate. Okay, so the first one, to receive phone calls while you are in a lecture or class, definitely it is inappropriate. You are disturbing the entire class. At the same time, you're not able to allow the teacher to pay attention because you are uh, creating noise, so that is inappropriate. Then, to knock before you enter your principal's office, yes, it is appropriate. To thank the person who offers you tea or coffee, again, it's an appropriate etiquette. To be polite and courteous to others, yes, appropriate. To leave the classroom without the teacher's permission, it is inappropriate, because you will be disturbing the flow of the entire class, and so which is not appropriate. To occupy the seats reserved for ladies or physically challenged or elderly persons or people on a bus or a train, again it is inappropriate, because those seats are reserved for those people, and so we must respect the social setup and behave accordingly. Okay, so this is your icebreakers of the chapter 1.2 on saying please. Now let's go to the brainstorming section. The first question here, form groups and explain the following words with examples. Okay, you can take help of your teacher. So here I am to help you all. Um, as we know, my dear students, this lesson definitely is about how this person's behavior affects the people that he comes across throughout the day. Okay, and hence our behavior is not only something that affects us but also the people around us. And so the questions we will be seeing is mostly related to our etiquettes, our manners, and our behaviors in general. The first one, as I said, let us look at these words, their meanings, and how we can use them in sentences. So the first word, humility. Now, what is humility? Humility means being polite. Okay. So the sentence that we can frame is, they must accept the rank with humility. Okay. Now, before I proceed, children, I would request you to kindly have your textbooks handy, so that you make notes of the discussions that take place in this video, and then you can refer to those notes later on. Okay, those who do not have textbooks can take a rough book and make a note of the same, so that you can refer to them again later, so and you don't miss on to any kind of discussions. So, yes, humility. The sentence on humility can be, they must accept the rank with humility. Next word, self-esteem. What is self-esteem? Self-esteem is you feel good about yourselves. The way you are happy, you're satisfied, and you feel good about you. And the same goodness then you can pass on to others. Okay. So the person's overall sense of his or her value. Okay. You feel your worth, your worth, your value. So that kind of a feeling is known as self-esteem. Okay. So the sentence here we can make is, I attended the seminar to boost my self-esteem. Next, gratitude. What is gratitude? Gratitude is being thankful. Okay, the quality of being thankful is known as gratitude. Many people do many things for us, okay, but we do feel thankful towards them sometimes, sometimes we do not, sometimes we take them for granted. So when you feel, when you understand that the person has done something for you and you want to thank, or you feel like giving thanks to that person, so that feeling is known as a feeling of gratitude. Okay, the sentence here can be, she expressed her gratitude to the committee for their support. Next, courtesy. Courtesy means gentle, showing politeness in your attitude and your behavior when you're behaving with others, towards others. So the sentence here can be, his courtesy and upright character made him a universal favorite. Next, generosity. Generosity means unselfish, a person who has a quality of being kind and generous, who has plenty and who would love to share his things or his plentiful resources with others. So that is being generous. Sentence would be, I was overwhelmed by the generosity of my friends and my neighbors. Okay. Next one, sympathy. Sympathy is compassion and caring, a feeling of pity and sorrow for someone else's misfortune. So somebody is in trouble, somebody is in some kind of a situation, and you feel compassion towards that person, you care for that person, that's called sympathy. So the sentence here would be, they had great sympathy for the flood victims. And the last word, empathy. Now, empathy is ability to understand and share others' feelings. Okay, so the sentence here can be, I did not have empathy for the characters, or I had empathy for the characters. Any way you can write it. Okay. Now, the next question here is, have a group discussion on the topic need of soft skills. Now, in order to do that, let us get to first understand what are soft skills. Now, soft skills are your personal attributes which help someone to interact effectively and harmoniously with other people. Okay, so students, as we know that we live in a society, we live among people, we study with people around, we work with people around, and so while we are around so many people, we need to develop these skills so that we work or we study or we live in harmony with each other without causing any kind of trouble or disturbance to others because of our behavior. So this again is important, and we can you can use the points which are given there and have a discussion or write up of the topic. Okay. The next one. Read the text and state whether the following statements are true or false. And if they are false, we need to correct them. So first, bitter problems in day-to-day life can be solved by sweet words. Yes, definitely it is true. No matter how the situation is, if we are sweet in the way we talk, we can even solve any kind of problems. Next, great wars could have been avoided by a little courtesy. Okay, so that is true. Observance of etiquette in a normal situation is important, but more important is their observance when the situation is adverse. We all can be at our best behavior when the situation is normal, but it is only when the situation gets bad that our behavior truly comes out. Okay, so we need to understand that when the situation gets bad, that is when it's our true testing time, and we need to behave in a particular manner. So that is true. Words like please and thank you help us in making our passage through life uneasy. Do they do that? No. When we use please and thank you, we can make any rough situation a very smooth situation. Why? Because we are being very humble towards the person whom maybe we have hurt. Okay. So when we use these words, we make the situation easy. Okay. So that is false. And the correction also I have noted down for you. The next one, the law permits anybody to use violence if another person is discourteous. Is that true? No. No matter how discourteous other person is, it is our moral duty to still keep away from violence. So the law does not permit. So the sentence is false. Okay. Next question. Select the most appropriate sentence which suggests the theme of the essay. So the essay you all have already gone through, you all have understood. So let us see which sentence actually brings out the theme of the essay. The essay tells us about courtesy, civility, morality, responsibility, and control. Yes, the first sentence is correct. Then next, find the reasons for the liftman's uncivilized behavior. Here, my dear students, I have noted down the way you can write it. If you need to, or if you wish to make some changes here and there, you can definitely go ahead and frame your own answer for this question. In this case, the liftman probably felt that the passenger's behavior was an insult to his social standing. Therefore, he felt the pain more acutely than he were kicked or had been physically assaulted. Okay, so this was the reason for liftman's uncivilized behavior. Next is list the people and their behavior that made the passenger rude and ill-mannered. So they have given you in the text how the entire process of being ill-mannered can be passed from one person to the other and can affect many people throughout the day. So they have mentioned some here. So we'll complete the flow. Housemaid behavior affected the wife, then the cook's behavior affected the employer, then employer's behavior affected the liftman, and then finally the liftman's behavior affected the passenger. Okay, so this way everybody's rude behavior was passed on to each other. Next, good manners are required in our daily life for making our social contacts more cooperative and friendly. Illustrate the behavior of the polite conductor with different people in various situations. The first one is already done for you. Let's go to the second one. In the rainy season, dealing with people. How was the conductor's behavior? He would run up to call the passengers inside the bus so that they would not get wet. Third, dealing with old people. He was as considerate as a son. Dealing with children, he was as concerned as a father. Dealing with young people, he radiated warmth towards youngsters. And dealing with a blind man, he asked the driver to wait and took the man across the road. So, such was the behavior of the conductor towards different people that he came across. Next question, discuss and write the impact of good temper and kindliness on the society in the light of good mannered conductor. So here, keeping in mind the behavior of this conductor, you need to write the answer where good manners or good temper and kindliness can bring a lot of change in our society and in our day-to-day lives. So you write the answer for this question. Next, a modest calling can be made dignified by good temper and kindly feeling. Explain the statement with examples. So you have so many examples. You have so many people in our lives that we see every day or we come across every day, and those people do a very small job. Like me, we might call it a very small job, but still, with their behavior, with the way they do their jobs, they literally dignify the way they perceive their own profession. So this is what is expected in this answer. So you have to take some examples. Maybe a sweeper, okay, who comes every day to your house and collects the dustbin and maybe sweeps the house or the floor, and how he greets everybody early in the morning, and that makes your day well. Okay, so that example also you can use, and you can show that with his behavior we do not look at him as just a sweeper, but we definitely wait for him every morning so that he can greet us with a smile and we can do so in return. Okay, the next one, the service of the police is necessary for the implementation of law in our society. Do you think you require this service for good social environment? Yes, in the light of the situation that we are in, the pandemic that is going on, and we definitely are aware how policemen day in and day out are serving, and they are keeping a watch at every moment that takes place on the roads and various areas, so that you and me can be safe. Okay, so this is the best way you can write down this answer as well. Okay. Next, he committed the crime in broad daylight. Now, this is the way we usually say, right? We do not say we do not say bright daylight. We do not say narrow day, darkness, something like that. So now, there are some more ways we, use certain words like I had a cup of strong tea or the fast train is coming. So such words, which usually are used together or they occur together, they convey meaning by association, and they are known as collocations. Okay, so a collocation is a combination of words in a language that often go together. Okay, most of the time they are used together. So here they have given us a match the following, and I have color coded them for you so you can go through it. The first one, regular. So what do we say? Regular exercise. Then midday meal, key concept, fast food, try hard, richly decorated, free time, traffic jam, social justice, and wild animal. The next question, learning collocations. Okay, so another set of words here. We can use our own words. They have given us two words here, big and well. So what are the various words that we use with big, and what are the various words that we use with well? Let us look at the words used with big. Usually we say big mistake, we say big surprise, big amount, big deal, big improvement, big decision, big advantage, big incident. Okay, and most of the time we say well mannered, well dressed, well educated, well done, well played, well equipped, well planned, well performed. So you can also write some other words if you think are suitable enough here. Okay. Next, sometimes while using a word in a sentence, we have to change its word class. We can make several more words from the root word. Like we are definitely aware about the root words, and we make changes of that word in order to make sense in the sentence or make the sentence meaningful. Like let us see here the first sentence. I asked Sumit to dash my pencil for me. Now the root word is sharp. Can we use sharp itself here? See, if we use sharp, see the way the sentence will sound. I asked Sumit to sharp my pencil for me, which is incorrect. So we change the root word and we make it into sharpen. So how do you say? I asked Sumit to sharpen my pencil for me. Likewise, there are some more examples here. Now read the following sentences and use the words in the bracket. Lena was eating a very, what is the root word? Crunch. So crunch becomes crunchy apple and obviously enjoying it. This picture looks colorful. I'm afraid that your behavior is just not acceptable. I like my elder brother. He is very helpful. Okay. So can you see the way the root word changes into the other form in order to be used in the sentence? Now here is the next table of parts of speech which we all are aware about. Okay. Some of them are mentioned. Parts of speech: noun, verb, adjective, and adverb. Noun is the naming word, name of a person, place, animal, thing. Verb is the action. Adjective qualifies the noun, and adverb qualifies the verb. It tells you more about the verb, and adjective tells you more about the noun. So you have to change the form of the word given into the different parts of speech. So for example, the noun form is absence. So the verb form becomes absent. Adjective is again absent, and adverb is absently. Alarm, again verb form alarm. Adjective alarming, and adverb alarmingly. Noun is attraction. Its verb is attract. Its adjective is attractive, and its adverb is attractively. Noun enabler. Verb enable. Adjective enabled. and there is no proper adverb form for enable, hence we have left it blank. Then noun form of admiration, verb form is admire, adjective is admirable, and adverb is admirably. Noun is agreement, verb becomes agree, adjective agreeable, and adverb agreeably. Application noun, apply verb, applicable adjective, applicably adverb. Avoidance noun, avoid is a verb, avoidable is adjective, and avoidably adverb. And the last one, noun, difference, verb, differ, adjective, different, and adverb, differently. Okay. Now, next situation, next question. Register often refers to the degree of formality of language, but in a more general sense, it means the language used by a group of people who share similar work or interest, such as doctors, lawyers. Now, imagine that your principal or teacher is coming. When you meet him, you would never say, "Hey dude, what's up?" This is a formal situation, so you would rather say, "Good morning, sir," or "Good morning, ma'am." In every situation, you use an appropriate expression according to the person. Okay, so you look at the person, and depending on who the person is, you express your greetings. The language you use when you meet someone depends on their age, position, etc. So there are formal and informal registers in spoken and written language. Let us go through it. Write appropriate expressions and words which you have to use while facing an interview. So, of course, this is a very formal situation. So, let us see what are the words you would use when you are sitting probably for an interview. So, the first is given to you, "May I come in?" Then, definitely, you would greet the person, "Good morning" or "Good afternoon." Then, if you've not understood the question, you would say, "I'm sorry, would you please repeat the question?" And when you're about to leave, you can say, "I want to thank you before I leave." And again, followed by, "I hope you will give me a chance to work under your guidance." So, can you see the way the entire conversation goes up in a very formal manner? List, you are writing a letter of complaint, and list the proper expressions that you would like to write. So, this also we have of course come across, and we have written, in our English exercises, we have written such kind of formal complaint letters. So, we know what kind of expressions or what kind of sentences we should use. Okay. So, again, we use a very formal language, that is, "I disagree," or "I wanted to bring to your notice," or "I wish to get replacement," or "Your quick actions will be appreciated," or "I hope you will look into the matter." So such kind of sentences we definitely use in our formal letters. Next, distinguish between a legal offense and a moral offense. Legal offense means the ones which are punishable by law, okay? And moral offense means they are not really punishable by law, but that is not a good behavior when you are living in a society, okay? So legal offense would be burglary, violence, assault and battery, or to attack someone. And moral offense would be rude behavior or discourtesy or bad manners or haughtiness. Okay, so these are all moral offenses. Next is find out the meanings of the following phrases and use them in your own sentences. I have the meaning and a sentence for you. You can refer to it and also make your own sentences. First, give and take. What is give and take? A compromise where a person gives something in order to get something from someone else. Okay. So, in every relationship or in every friendship, there has to be some give and take. Okay. We have used this phrase. Second, a black eye. So if someone has a black eye, they have a dark colored bruise around their eye. Okay, usually it happens when you are hit by someone. Okay, the sentence here would be, "We had a fight, I won, and he got a black eye." Then next, lower than the angels, it means less than perfect. Okay, So here you can make use of this phrase in the sentence as follows. He made himself lower than the angels. Okay. Then last, knock someone down means to hit or push someone, especially it might be accidentally so that he or she falls to the ground. So she was knocked down by a bus. Next is find out the words with prefix and suffix from the text and write them down. Okay, now what is prefix? Prefix is a group of letters that we use before the root word. Okay, and suffix means those group of letters come after the root word. Okay, so pre means before and suffix is after the word. Okay, so for example, uncivil, which is the word here civil, and you add un over here, which is the prefix. Okay, then another words would be incomplete or disable or ill manner or unforgivable. Okay, here suffix would be requirement, require plus meant, so requirement, punishable, punish plus able, punishable, perfection, reasonable, agreement, agree, meant, agreement. Okay, then complete the table with polite expressions. In don'ts they have given the way we should not usually speak in our day-to-day lives or in the given situation. In do's we have to write how we can correct the same sentence in a polite manner. Okay, so for example, the first one, I want a cup of tea, can be rather said as I would like to have a cup of tea. Second sentence, send me the mail, so you would rather say, will you send me the mail? Okay, go away or leave me alone. So instead of saying this way, you can say, can you please leave me alone? Next, you are wrong, so you can say this in this way, I think you are mistaken. That's a bad idea. It can be said as, I'm not sure if it's a good idea. And the last one, your work isn't good, can be said as, can you make some improvements in your work? So you're conveying the same message but in a polite manner. Okay. Next, edit the given paragraph using a and the. So what are these, my dear students? These are articles. Okay, so we do make use of articles, and the three words or the three articles are a, an, and the. Okay, so according to the given paragraph we need to choose the appropriate article here. So let us see. Rakesh is an ideal son who remains devoted to his father as he grows professionally to become a famous doctor. As his father grows old, he takes care to spend time with his father, bringing him tea in the morning and taking him out for a walk in the evening. Okay. Next exercise. Spot the errors in each of the following sentences and correct the incorrect ones. So let us see one by one. Radha brought pens and distributed them between her 5 children. Now, the distribution is taking place between, you know, distribution, but for 5 children. So, because it is more than 2, we would say rather among her 5 children. Between, we will use when it is just 2. So, between her 2 kids or between her 2 daughters. So, then between would be fine. But here, since it is 5 children, we will use among. Okay, so you have to remove between and instead write among. Jayashree and Sujata sat beside each other in complete silence. So here the word beside will be used and not besides. Okay. So beside is the correct word. His best friend Vijay was blind within one eye. So within here is incorrect. Instead you will say Vijay was blind in one eye. Next word. One could dare to encroach on his rights. So instead you would say one couldn't dare to encroach on his rights. The next one, she was taken aback with surprise when she saw the famous Taj Mahal. So here, after taken, you will add the word aback. It is not possible to exchange the goods once the sale has been completed. So instead of has been, you will simply say it is not possible to exchange the goods once the sale is completed. Okay. Dr. Sen Gupta has been trying to master the craft for the last 5 years. So here the use of the word the is not necessary. So you will remove the word. The top ranking candidates will be appointed in senior jobs in banks. So here you will remove the word in and add for. So the sentence will be the top ranking candidates will be appointed for senior jobs in banks. Then she knows very well what is expected from her, but she is unable to perform. Here you can use the word however instead of but. And the last one, they will put on a note in this regard for your consideration. So here we don't need to use the word on. You can simply say they will put a note in this regard for your consideration. Okay. Till then, have a nice day. Stay home and stay safe. Thank you.